Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Welcome to another exciting edition of EP Live. Thank you all for joining us today. We're going to get started with your rundown, but first, some dedications. Brand new sponsor, GOC. Thank you so much for your support. You rock. Also, we got an amazing, huge super chat from our buddy David Chapman yesterday. Thank you, sir. That's very, very kind of you. And Danny Barzigar can't wait to see us at the EXP bar this weekend, where we are going to be doing EP live streams of all of the press conferences from EA and from Bethesda and from Xbox and also from Square and Ubisoft and PlayStation. So we're going to be at EXP for a big chunk of time. I hope they like us by the end of all of that. But yes, we do welcome all of you guys to come on down, and we're going to have some EPN t-shirts for sale for the very first time, and we're going to be talking about video games and seeing some surprises and playing some games and chatting with you all. Can't wait for that, but let's get started with your rundown. DC and Warner Brothers are hoping that audiences can take a joke or two. Variety reports that DC is working on a new standalone Joker movie starring Jared Leto. No plot details have been revealed, and we also don't know who might direct, but along with starring, Jared Leto is expected to serve as executive producer. That means he'll have much more creative control than he did with Suicide Squad, which left many of his scenes on the cutting room floor, something that made him very unhappy. Warner Brothers is developing another Suicide Squad spin-off focusing on Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, so she could appear in this new Joker movie and vice versa. To make things confusing, this isn't the only Joker movie on the way. The studio is also making a solo Joker movie that will feature a different version of the character set outside of the current DC movie continuity. Comic readers are used to this sort of thing, but it remains to be seen if general audiences will understand. No word on when either of these two Joker movies will arrive. Well, this gets a little bit convoluted and interesting now, doesn't it? I'm not that excited about a Jared Leto Joker movie, I have to be honest. I don't think he was that amazing in the Suicide Squad movie. I think he is an excellent actor, though, and maybe if he is given sort of free reign and a lot more creative control and they make a better movie, I think that's the big thing there. We might get a more interesting Joker, performance out of this guy. I just think that he was I didn't like that he was tattooed with all of his inner demons, like basically inner dialogue was just tattooed onto his body. That made me cringe when I saw that initial picture, and then it just seems silly the way that it was just all forced and convoluted in the Suicide Squad picture. That was a disaster of a movie, let's be honest. That thing was just terrible, and I think that the further that DC and Warner Brothers get from that initial Suicide Squad movie, the better. It might have made money, and there are fans out there of this thing, and I can't understand that, but I think the further that DC separates itself from that abomination, the better. They certainly hired good actors. They did. They've done a pretty good job with their casting all across the board. They just need to make better movies, And as Solo has just proved, prequels are a very dangerous thing for these big movie studios to get involved with. Now, as for the other Joker movie, this just seems silly. I mean, DC and Warner Brothers, you're struggling to kind of get people to really care about your characters and this cinematic universe that you're crafting. Please just focus on that. Please just make awesome movies that are unequivocally, fun and get lots of people to care and get lots of people interested in this stuff. If you scatter all of your resources, I just reviewed the Gotham TV show, and it's kind of like that, You just don't just throw everything up against the wall to see what sticks. Be a little more focused, a little bit more sort of in control of where all of this stuff is going. Look at what Berlanti is doing with his version of the DC universe. I think that's some pretty impressive television making, and he could be tuned to make some pretty cool movies as well. Not exactly the same, but I think you guys know what I'm saying. As a DC diehard and a fan for my whole life, I am nervous about these decisions. Now, in other comic book movie news, Sony has released the trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and it looks absolutely incredible. This is the CG animated feature film from Sony Animation. I believe it was made right here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Yeah. And it's absolutely killer. All of the visuals are very comic booky and, taking into effect all of the mobility of the character and also the way that comic panels kind of frame up everything with word balloons and stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous. Focusing on Miles Morales, a different hero, but we do see some interactions between Miles and Peter Parker. This is something I'm very excited for. Comes out this December, and I can't wait. This is going to be an awesome and very unique Spider-Man experience. Now, if you want to catch them all, it's not going to be free. Nintendo has confirmed something that most of us already suspected. You'll need to have the Nintendo Switch online subscription service in order to access the online features in the upcoming Pokemon Switch games, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. This includes online battles as well as trading Pokemon with your friends, and makes the new games the first Pokemon titles to lock their online features behind a paywall. Other Switch games like Splatoon 2 will also require a Nintendo Switch online subscription, which will cost $25 a year in Canada. The service goes online this September, and the new Pokemon games land this November. Nintendo is working on a more hardcore Pokemon RPG due on the Switch in late 2019. I think it was only a matter of time. I think here's what's going to happen, right? It's going to be account-based, the way that we access a lot of this interactive entertainment, and so there's going to be a service fee to kind of handle the costs of all of this networking and online sort of store offering that these different companies are going to be providing. But then I think we're going to start to see some pricing kind of adjust for that as well on the core experiences. And sales will happen a lot quicker and with more immediacy, and there will be flash sales and things like that. So the economy of playing video games is going to start to change a little bit as these publishers move away from just fully relying on physical releases out there. So it does make sense that Nintendo's going to be charging for online features and then offering games at different price points. My only hope is that with Nintendo specifically, they attach these purchases that we're going to make with the Switch forever to our new accounts. And I really hope that it isn't like after the Switch is sort of ready to move on to whatever the new hardware is, they're going to wipe all of those purchases off the board, and we're just going to move forward and not have these things that we've applied to our accounts, you know? So fingers crossed on that. But yes, this is the new economy, the digital age. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if all of this leads us to kind of a Netflix all-you-can-eat kind of model for these video game companies within 5 or 10 years. I think we're going to start to see a lot of these huge sweeping changes. We're not going to have all of these discs and cartridges and stuff on except for our older material. You know, we're not going to have new versions of a lot of these games. We're just going to have these accounts that give us tons of access out there. But yep, times are changing as they always do in this industry. One of the most famous games in the world is getting a new spin in virtual reality. Rez and Luminous designer Tetsuya Mizuguchi is working on a trippy new game called Tetris Effect. It reimagines the classic Tetris formula by setting the blocky puzzle-solving game against the backdrop of fantastical 3D worlds and electronic music, both of which will change depending on how you play, which the developers hope will make the experience more immersive, dreamlike, and addictive. I can't wait for this. Tetris Effect is actually named after a real-world phenomenon where players who play Tetris for hours on end will continue to see falling blocks even after they stop playing. It's being made for the PS4 and PlayStation VR headset, making it the first official Tetris game for virtual reality, and it'll drop this fall. This sounds like a match made in heaven. I love Mizuguchi-san. He is incredible. You know, just a fantastic developer. Rez still stands the test of time. If you plop that into your PlayStation VR eyeballs and you play that game, I dare you to not be completely transported, and you're just sort of beaten. You know, you're just along for the ride, and the drum loops and beats and stuff like that just get into your head, and you just have an incredible time. And I believe that is going to be this will be par for the course. Tetris Effect is going to do the exact same thing. I cannot wait for this. So that's congrats to Mizuguchi-san and his development team and the Tetris folks, and to PlayStation. This is a huge announcement, and this is going to be a very cool game to experience on PlayStation VR. I cannot wait. The next big Total War game is also looking pretty awesome, but you're going to have to wait a lot longer for it. Sega and the Creative Assembly have released the first in-engine trailer for Total War 3 Kingdoms, the latest entry in their historical strategy series. It doesn't show off any actual gameplay, but does give fans a better idea of what the final game will be like, and it's looking like a victory. 3 Kingdoms is set in ancient China during the Han Dynasty and will focus on different different warlords struggling to conquer the massive country. It's the first game in the main Total War series in more than 3 years, and it isn't a spin-off like the recent Total War Saga and Total War Warhammer games. Now, the bad news, the game has been delayed from this fall to spring 2019, which means fans will have to wait a little longer to start playing. I did get a little hands-on time. I don't know if I'm under embargo or not. I have a million embargoes in my brain, but I played a little bit of this. What I can say, because you can see it in the trailer, the game is absolutely gorgeous, and the focus on these different characters is super cool, and they come into play in the context of your game time with the title. I love these Total War games. I don't spend enough time in them, as I discussed yesterday on EP Live, that I don't have tons of time devoted to specifically to PC gaming. I'm hoping that changes soon. I think it's time for me to start figuring out what my next PC game rig is going to be, and I will spend more time playing these awesome Total War games, because every time I do, I am blown away by their quality and their breadth and the scope and the challenge, the mental stimulation, and also the challenge of the gameplay. These are great games, and Creative Assembly is a phenomenal developer. Very excited about this, and I hope that you are excited for this day in everything cool. Welcome to This Day in Everything Cool for June 6th. This day in 1956 was very hip. 22-year-old singer Elvis Presley performed his new single Hound Dog on the Milton Berle Show, and along with somewhat suggestive lyrics, he began gyrating and thrusting his hips while singing. This might not seem like a big deal, but at the time, this was scandalous and created a huge controversy. Younger viewers, particularly women, loved it, but older, more conservative audiences were outraged, calling the hip-thrusting indecent, vulgar, and in the words of the reviewer for the New York Daily News, the kind of animalism that should be confined to dives and bordellos.
I watched him gyrate his legs and swivel his hips. And our parent-teachers group feels he should not be on television.
Because of the performance, Presley was banned from appearing on other programs like The Ed Sullivan Show, but like most controversies, it actually worked in his favor. It created a wave of publicity that helped propel him to superstardom. That was almost too hot for the internet right there with This Day and Everything Cool. Thank you, Elvis Presley. You gave us some incredible memories right there. Paul Adamson, great to see you. Sammy M111, awesome. NHADM, I know you told me how to say that before, I think, but I don't know how to say it. But it's great that you're here. Thank you, Terrence Foreman, Patrick Furtado, Kevin Wiley, Tiago Santos, Taz, Adrian Leon, Tyler Fisher. Great to see everybody. It's super, super cool that you're all here. We have got a brand new segment for you that we're going to try to do once a month. It's about the games that come out every month, and we're into June already, and some of the big games have already launched. Now, I'm not going to list every single game because that would take the whole hour of our show or hour and a half of our show, but I've picked out 10 that I am personally excited for, and we're going to start with number 10, and I actually have a three-way tie because we have some repeats or some games that are being ported finally to other consoles, and one of them is Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, and this is, of course, one of, if not the best shooter of 2017. Fantastic story. The Nazis have overtaken America, and B.J. Blazkowicz has to do everything he can using the equipment that he's got and also the equipment that he steals from the Nazis. A lot of steampunk and cool tech that he has to take them all down and destroy all kinds of bad guys in this very cool game. We are going to see how it runs on the Nintendo Switch, because clearly this was a massive 4K enabled experience for the Xbox and for the PlayStation 4 and PC. So we'll see how it handles on the Switch. But Bethesda did a pretty good job with Doom, so I'm excited for this one. And then there is, of course, another big classic game that's coming back for the first time in a long time, and it's, I think, all to do with the success of Far Cry 5, but they're bringing back Far Cry 3, and this was, in many people's opinions, the best of the Far Cry games. Michael Mando was our villain, and it's incredibly action-packed, and it kind of set the tone for how every Far Cry game has been made since. It's the classic edition, and it has all the season pass content and stuff, season pass content and the other stuff that's included there. I don't know if it has the Blood Dragon bit in there too. That would be amazing. But hopefully it's all been upgraded and it runs beautifully. beautifully on PS4 and Xbox One. Now, the other games that we've been, the other game that's coming out for every system and not just for the PlayStation 4, which it came out on last year, is the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy Insane Edition. And that is coming to the Switch, it's coming to the Xbox, and it's coming to the PC. So Naughty Dog's famous Crash Bandicoot games, which have been relegated to PlayStation consoles this whole time, are finally going to be available on other platforms. It's going to be surreal to play Crash Bandicoot on a Nintendo platform. I am super psyched for that. So Crash Bandicoot comes out June 26th on the other machines. Wolfenstein comes out on the Switch on June 29th. And Far Cry 3 Classic Edition comes out on June 26th. Now, number 9 for me is a different kind of game. It's called Sushi Striker: The Way of Sushido, and it's a Switch and 3DS game, and I think it's probably going to play a little bit better on the 3DS. It comes out this week on June 8th, and you're basically, it looks like a fighting game, sort of connected to a puzzle game, where you're eating a bunch of sushi that's on conveyor belts, and then you're battling tougher opponents, and it looks like it's going to be silly and crazy, and it could be a lot of fun, especially as a portable diversion. Number 8 for me is also a game that's making a comeback, but this is one that's long overdue, and I'm super excited for this, especially because it's coming to the Switch, because it kind of feels like the perfect portable game. It's Lumines Remastered, and if anybody has been playing games for a little while can remember, this was an incredible experience where you were playing the game and the music would kind of change with how well you were doing, and the backgrounds would kind of alter in the middle of gameplay, and suddenly you have a whole new art style, and it changes the whole experience kind of in this fluid connection between the music and the puzzle challenges and your gameplay and your skill. It's incredibly addictive, and hopefully it's not just like a graphic upgrade bump. Hopefully there's some extra new mechanics in there. But that comes out on June 22nd, and that Sushi Striker game comes out on June 8th. I think I told you guys that. A game that's already launched, and I started to play it this morning, and I've tweeted at Shaq for a hopeful interview with him. I don't think we'll get it, but who knows. Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn. It's out on the PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. And a cool thing that the publishers and I guess the developers of NBA Playgrounds are doing, if you bought the game before they patched it, that game, NBA Playgrounds, this was a free gift from the team, because clearly they added a bunch of features to NBA Playgrounds post-launch. And so I booted up my Switch and saw that I had a free copy of Shaq Fu. I downloaded it. It's insane. It's got a definite sense of humor. If you watch that trailer, you are going to have a big smile on your face. I totally guarantee it. And Shaq's all over the thing, too. And he's clearly having a good time. And he's threatening to make a Steel video game. And that's why Shaq Fu is my number 7 of my most anticipated games of June. So I've got it already. I'll play it. I'll tell you guys how it is. Number 6 is a game called Onrush. That came out on June 5th as well. This is a game from Codemasters, who excels at making awesome racing experiences. This looks like a kind of hybrid between Burnout and the MotorStorm games, so I'm immediately intrigued. Looks like high-speed mayhem, and they're kind of saying that it's a much more of a free-for-all racing experience. I think it's more about carnage and damage and destruction and, getting to objectives by any means necessary. So we'll see. I'm expecting to get a code for this one too. I will stream it and I will play it, and I will let you guys know how Onrush is. It's out for the PS4 and Xbox One, and it just came out on June 5th, so yesterday. Coming out on June 15th is Lego The Incredibles, which is my number 5, and that's the same day that the movie comes out, and it is tied to both of the Incredibles movies. It picks up because I've already played a little bit of it at a pre-E3 event where the Incredibles 2 movie starts is exactly where this game starts. So you get to, fight the Underminer, and you get all of the Incredibles, characters in there. I think they put like 113 different characters in there. We've got an interview with Arthur Parsons that we'll be cutting and putting together pretty soon. But I love the Lego games. I love the Incredibles. I'm anticipating loving this game, and it's out on every platform: PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch on June 15th. June 26th, it's The Crew 2 from Ubisoft. It's out for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One, And the first Crew actually became quite a big success for Ubisoft because there was a lot of after-launch support for it. It became a free download on some of the consoles out there, and it crafted a pretty big community out there. They have refined and refreshed the gameplay. You have the immediate ability to jump between these different racing disciplines, and as you can see, the graphics are absolutely gorgeous, and you're racing across America, and there's lots of different objectives and things to get in each of the different destinations that you're going to race through and to. I can't wait for the Crew 2. Comes out June 26th. June 12th is the launch date for Jurassic World Evolution, which is my number 3 pick. It's out for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And this is developed by Frontier Developments, I think is the way that they call themselves. But Frontier has made a lot of these theme park type of experiences. They recently did the Disneyland one, which is available for the Xbox One. They did the... there's the big zoo one that they did as well for Microsoft as well. But this Jurassic Park one seems like it could be a lot of fun. You're actually building your own Jurassic Park, and you're trying to keep your dinosaurs penned in. Good luck with that. I've heard good things about Jurassic World 2, so I'm actually kind of excited. I like Frontier. I like what these guys do, and I think this might be a nice match made in heaven for them. That comes out on June 12th. Mario Tennis Aces comes out on the Switch on June 22nd. It is my number 2 for June. I played a bunch of games through the tournament weekend that they just had, the free tournament weekend, and it is ridiculously enjoyable. It's a lot more than the best Mario Tennis game I've played, and I think Audrey on Leon will agree with me on this, is the N64 version of Mario Tennis. That was phenomenal, and then there's been a bunch of okay ones, but this feels like it's going to give you a robust single-player sort of adventure. There's going to be lots and lots of special moves that you can pull off. You can strip everything down and just kind of play cartoon tennis if you want without lots of special features and stuff. There's going to be mini games and lots of cameos from different Nintendo characters and stuff. I was floored by how fun and addictive and challenging the tournament was. I was getting my butt kicked, but I had a big smile on my face. Very fun game. Now you're wondering what my number 1 game is. Well, for June, it is Vampyr or Vampyr. This is from Don't Nod, the people that brought us the Life is Strange episodic adventure that Square Enix brought to consoles and to the PC, and I think you can get it on your mobile devices now. Don't Nod is a very, very solid developer when it comes to storytelling and crafting interesting characters, and this is an RPG. You play a doctor who has some moral dilemmas about whether you're going to kill to feed yourself and to stay physically fit and healthy and make your life easier, or you're going to try to do the right thing and be the doctor and not kill and preserve life, and you are going to find yourself very hungry and thirsty in this because you're a vampire. I'm very, very intrigued to play this game. I've got a copy. And I am psyched to say that we're going to be streaming some of this a little bit later on, and I've only touched it, and I thought it was cool already. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. We'll give you guys a taste of that very soon. But there you go. There are 10, with a little bit of cheating, of my top 10 games for June 2018. It's going to be a good month, but this is a month where typically the game industry sort of quiets down a little bit because of E3 next week, and that's where all the hype is, right? So, but still, some good games to look forward to. But now it's time to look back in the rear view at a buried treasure. In today's Buried Treasure, I've got not one but 2 PlayStation 2 classic games. Both of them star a little character named Maximo. One of them is Ghost to Glory, and one of them is Army of Zin. The sequel, Capcom developed a studio in the San Francisco Bay Area to build a kind of a spiritual successor to the Ghosts and Goblins franchise. It's in that world. And you play as a character named Maximo. You're hacking and slashing and jumping on platforms and, learning some spells and getting new weapons and dealing with hordes and hordes and hordes of bad guys. The sequel, in Army of Zin, you actually got this Grim Reaper attack where you actually turned into the Grim Reaper, and you got a whole bunch of new abilities, including one of them called the Death Boner. And you could just dole out all kinds of carnage to the bad guys that you were facing. Lots of cool characters characters in this, some really kind of elaborate cartoony cut sequences, especially for the time. And I don't know if we probably talked about this on Reviews on the Run and Judgment Day, but Tommy Tallarico did a lot of the music and sound effects for this title, and he actually cast me in the game. So I think I'm in both of these games, but in sort of these different ways. I play an old guy for a minute. Maximo, help me, kind of thing. It was super fun to do that, but the games were tight, and that's why I'm talking about them. They're classics. These games are terrific, and they could do with a sort of an HD remaster or some kind of thing to bring them to the new machines. These games would be great on the Switch, just saying, but I would love to play them on anything. PC, Xbox, PlayStation 4. Come on, Capcom. You're sitting there with the Maximo games. They're being squandered. Bring it back, too. A sequel would be fantastic. Anyways, Maximo Ghost to Glory, Maximo Army of Zin, two classics that are definitely buried treasures. Love doing the buried treasures, super fun segment, and we've got a bunch more headed your way, and it was crazy that I actually had a chance to be in those Maximo games. Shout out to Tommy Tallarico, who is now the president of Intellivision. What's happening in this world? All right, you guys, there was a big reveal not too long ago for the brand new Black Ops 4, and we have a lot of questions, like everybody else does out there, around the removal of the single-player component in the game, and the idea that there's going to be a new Battle Royale mode in this. It's called Blackout. So we got a chance to sit down with a couple of guys from the Treyarch studios, and we asked them all about that.
Black Ops, weapons free. Let's do it live.
Dan Bunting revealed a very big game today, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. The stats will speak to the fact that multiplayer has been the meat and potatoes of Call of Duty for a long time, and Black Ops. But there are a lot of single-player, players out there that prefer that mode, and they're going to be missing the campaign mode here. So walk us through what this experience of playing Blops 4 would be like for someone that just enjoys playing alone.
Well, we are exploring narrative in each of our modes at a deeper level than we've ever done before. So, when you think about players, how they engage with narrative campaign entertainment, they're looking for a couple things. They're looking for story, they like story, and they're looking for gameplay experiences that they can play on their own. They don't have to feel the pressures of social interactions or whatever it is that's there. And this game, we're giving them both in different ways. With multiplayer, we have solo missions that allow you to explore the universe around the specialists, to get a little bit more of an understanding of their backstories, understanding who they are, who they work for, why they're doing this thing, how they're connected to one another, and also master their gameplay abilities at the same time. And we're really going to challenge players to learn each one in unique ways. And then, of course, with zombies, there's 3 zombies experiences at launch, and that's bigger than we've ever done before. Each one's got an explosive narrative around it, as our zombie fans have grown to expect of us over the years.
So it's not so much a stitched together scene by scene campaign, but in the context of all of these characters that Black Ops owns, you can tell micro stories.
No one gives a fuck about you.
I have to admit, I'm very surprised that Black Ops 4 doesn't have a campaign, because out of the campaigns in the Call of Duty games, I feel like the most amount of experimentation, the most amount of fun and risk-taking has been in the Black Ops series. That must not have been an easy decision for you guys.
Well, actually, we were never really making a traditional campaign. From the onset, it was really about creating an incredibly social and engaging experience. And so during the course of development, we realized that there was an opportunity to address character development within the framework of multiplayer.
But is this kind of Call of Duty wide now? Are we going to be looking at Call of Duty as mostly just a multiplayer experience, or is that to be determined later?
That is a bigger franchise question that I am sure there's someone at Activision that would be interested in answering that. So probably best to take it up with those guys.
When you do something like remove the campaign, is that something that can happen fairly late in the production schedule? Or decide not to build a campaign?
We're a pretty agile team. We're constantly testing new ideas in development, constantly taking the pieces of the game apart and remixing it, trying it in different ways. Right. Ultimately, we're looking for the best ideas that we push forward, and that's what you see reflected today.
Blackout is your Battle Royale mode, and I think that was the thing that we were predicting and was leaked or shared or...
Big surprise.
Do you feel like we could get a saturation on Battle Royale? Do you feel like there's going to be too many choices and too many people chasing? Because we anticipate Battlefield will do something with this, and perhaps Battlefront and other shooters.
I think there's definitely a potential for any game experience to get saturated, but what I see this as a genre that's evolving and changing every time another game comes out. It's more than just the rules of what Battle Royale or survival gameplay, however you want to define it. Yeah. It's more than just that. It's the idea that the world has warmed up and opened up to this idea of large-scale multiplayer combat. To me, that's really a platform that can grow and change over time. And that's what I'm excited about.
Second-to-second kind of moments too, right? That you talk about with your friend. I guess that's what you're going to try to capture here.
Yeah, I mean, no two games are ever going to play the same way, and every game is its own unique story. And I think that's one of the things that's really fun about these type of modes is that it is a sandbox. You never quite know what's going to happen. And that's why we're going really big, bringing a lot of characters, a lot of weapons, a lot of vehicles, a lot of past experiences into this one place.
Is Battle Royale just a trend? Is it just something that's hot right now? Are you guys concerned about that? Is there going to be a saturation? Are we going to see so much? Is there going to be a Battle Royale of Battle Royale modes that's going to kind of take the wind out of the sails a little bit?
Well, to be fair, I guess really only time will tell. But I mean, this is a mode of play. Like, we play Battle Royale games, and what we saw was like this real opportunity to really bring something new to the space that is unique to us. Some of the conversations that have gone down over the course of the last couple of weeks is that, like, yes, you know what? We're making a Battle Royale mode, and it's going to be huge, but it's also something that's got to be done in a Black Ops style. We've got 10 years of history to draw upon, and that's super exciting when you look at, the potential of Blackout and everything that it can be, because it's like, there are a lot of characters, there's a lot of stuff that we've really enjoyed about Black Ops that this now gives us an opportunity to kind of paint with those colors.
I'm very psyched about the vehicle play in Blackout, because that's one thing that I've always enjoyed in your campaigns. And then you strip them out for the multiplayer, but now it's in.
We used to have multiplayer in vehicles a long time ago, way back, going back to United Offensive days, to Big Red 1, to Call of Duty 3, and World of War was the last multiplayer vehicle game that we did, and we're excited to bring vehicles back to multiplayer experience as well.
We haven't really talked too much, and we've sort of heard too much about sort of the future world and the cyber world stuff that you got into with Black Ops 3. Is any of that going to be a part of this experience?
No, this multiplayer is much more grounded and military. We really wanted to get the texture of a real world into that experience. One of our pillars from day one has been that we want it to be deeply rewarding. And when you think about what makes a game rewarding, it's all those little details. It's the the feel of the guns. It's how you move through the world. It's how explosion looks and sounds. It's like all those details we're bringing into it, and we wanted to layer in a sense of real physicality to the world. Everything has to be grounded in something that you could look at and you could say, I believe that could exist in the world today.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the characters that we are going to be playing in multiplayer that you're introducing in Black Ops 4. Very cool kind of, almost like a Rainbow Six kind of vibe, where you're choosing alliances with different characters and creating a class around them. But take us through some of these creations. So
at a high level, the specialists each come to the table with some special equipment and abilities that, it was important to us to create an experience that was more tactical, more team-driven. But, if you are a lone wolf slayer and want to come to the table as a Call of Duty badass, like, we need to make sure that person feels powerful. But, the specialists and the combinations that you can unlock with some pre-gaming with your friends, like, all of a sudden there's this ability to be more together than you could have ever been on your own.
Right.
On your own, you're still a pretty powerful guy. But together, everybody is much stronger. And it's really about sort of getting to know each one, identifying your play style, matching up with specialists that suit that, and then matching up with other players that, like, allow you to sort of unlock that matrix that just makes you unstoppable.
One of the things that it struck me today is that if you are iterating as often as Call of Duty is, you have to change it up. You can't just be the tick the boxes brand, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a delicate balance, and I think that what you're seeing is a team at Treyarch who has been building their experience over the last decade with this franchise and beyond, even with World at War and before that, to understand how do you find that balance of giving players something that's familiar, relatable, that they can kind of come home to and know and love, while at the same time changing all the rules, shaking things up and bringing something innovative and different. And this game really reflects that. It's that whole journey that we've had through the series to get to this point where we can say this is the balance of familiar and comfortable, while at the same time shaking up the rules and changing things.
What's it like to be the co-head of a studio, and it's like you got 3 games every time you ship one of these games?
Yeah, it is. It's very much like that.
And are they like your children? I mean, you can't pick a favorite, or do you have a favorite? Or
I think the team is pretty well integrated, but you of course have different people working on different things at different times. And I started at Treyarch at a time when we had like 5 or 6 games going at once, and as the years went by, the game developments got bigger and bigger, and they just kind of consumed the other games, and now we just have one game that is actually 3 games.
3 games and more teams than one team.
Yeah. But it's it's fun. It's new challenges. I think everybody at the studio on the team gets to flex new creative muscles, and that's what keeps everybody invigorated.
I love those Treyarch guys. They're super cool. I could tell that they were both a little bit nervous because they knew that they were going to get hammered with questions. Why is there no single? Nobody likes when publishers and developers take something away. It's a risky move. I think Blackout's going to be a big success. I also feel like they're going to make that a separate free-to-play experience, and that will have a life of its own because they can just keep adding new Call of Duty pieces into that forever and ever and ever and ever. And I think that they will be doing that, and it will be fun because they don't really make unfun Call of Duty games. You may be bored of them, and I get that, but they're not fun. They're good. I feel like when you make one every year, you got to try new things, and that's what they're trying right now. So we shall see. We shall see how much Call of Duty Black Ops 4 has an impact on the shooter world and the streaming world and the gamer world out there very soon. But right now, I want to suck some blood. And I've been waiting all episode to play this game with you guys. This is Don't Nod's Vampyr. Our own Blake Siefkin is going to come up here and man the chat with me. It's a single-player game. I want to hear the game first. Oh, you want to hear the game? Okay, so we're going to press play on new game. We're starting right from the beginning. It's going to take us into a bit of a movie sequence to kind of explain stuff. So I'm going to try to just shut up a little bit so you can hear it, okay? Does that sound cool? It takes a bit to load in here. But feel free to ask us questions or comments and make it in all caps to make it easier when we're looking through the chat, okay? But let's take a look at Vampyr. I'm just going to keep saying Vampyr until someone corrects me and says, no, it's Vampire, dude. Does that sound okay?
You can call it whatever you want there.
Okay. This blood-sucking vampire game right here.
Crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4
Volume's
nails
all right.
piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. It is perhaps the
Hi, everyone.
countdown to
Jordan says hello.
for the once proud
Hello,
city
Blake.
of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance
I'm whispering
alone to
because I
face
don't want to
death
interrupt the
and
movie.
pestilence.
But
Confronted by the eerie
people in the
and
chat were.
unknown,
I don't compose the
begin
music. I just
desperate
pick the
for
music to
answers.
put in the
Flocks
segments.
flight makes for
I don't actually write
the
it
falling of a
myself.
Star, a dire presage, turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found.
Let me know if the
Religion
music and
failed, men
everything
turned
is
to
perfectly
science.
balanced in the stream.
I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness?
Vic, Paul Adamson wants to know who your favorite vampire character
But
is.
enslaved stone. What is glass but tortured sand?
Blade.
What is song but a call to
Freaking love Wesley Snipes
What
in
is
Blade. It
hate
was awesome.
but
I like Kiefer
guilty
Sutherland
love?
in The Lost
What is
Boys.
life but death
Yeah, he was great. Too.
pending?
I actually liked Interview with the Vampire too. You know what? I'm kind of bored with zombies. Up with vampires. Okay.
Dracula's a pretty cool one too.
Yeah, Gary Oldman was awesome.
Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality was believed to be God's punishment. A righteous
Be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all
So Vic, you haven't played this game at all, right?
I just started to control it a little bit just to make sure it was working.
awesome, holy
But this is right from the very beginning.
A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
Lovely opening. Super cool.
These guys know how to tell story
Yeah.
at Don't Nod. Thing is, I like how the game is so different from Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Life is Strange was an adventure game. This is like an action game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice when a developer changes gears so dramatically.
Yep. So you awaken as this doctor character. I'm sure I don't know his name. Jonathan. And
You're a doctor. It's the Spanish flu, right? That the game takes place in during the Spanish flu epidemic?
I don't know. It's London in the 1800s.
Was that the Spanish flu?
I'm not sure.
Spanish flu was a bit after that, I think.
This isn't the plague?
No, the
No,
plague
the
would
plague
be
was way
earlier.
earlier,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so you wake up, and I can go in every direction, but obviously I'm hobbled here, and I can't move that fast. So,
Are we allowed to talk loud now?
yeah, we can talk about that.
Yay!
So we're gonna walk towards this blood trail. This is about as far as I got in the game, so I've seen this bit.
So the basic premise is that you're a doctor who becomes a vampire, and you become a good vampire or an evil vampire depending on your actions, right?
There are moral choices and dilemmas, and your choices have consequences. Okay, so he sees this heart pumping. He sees the blood, and this is, I guess, the way the game shows how vampires would see. And he walks up and
So is it going to give you the choice of...
no. This is still the opening.
Oh, I see. I thought you were just going to start sucking her blood.
This woman is very happy to see him alive. Pretty cool.
So is that your girlfriend or your wife?
Worse.
Your daughter?
I guess that would be the worst.
Your mother? Who is it?
Sister.
Oh.
My sweet brother, what have you done?
That's terrible.
Yeah. So right away, stake into the heart. Good job, Don't Nod.
Wow. That's a very effective way to start a game.
Right? That's like chills down the spine right there.
Hold on. Please, hold on.
And now he's a doctor, and you can see that he's trying to save her.
She would turn into a vampire too, wouldn't she?
Well, they kill to eat too.
But isn't it like... But if you get bit by a vampire and you don't die...
If you don't die, yes, you're a vampire.
But he didn't suck enough of her blood to kill her.
I think he killed her because he was starving. This brought him back to life.
Well, that's intense.
Oh. Goodbye, sister. Let me throw you on the heap of dead people.
Deus Ex Mankind Divided's new DLC looks weird. Yeah, this guy does look kind of vaguely Elias
Dr.
Defexis.
Reed is what Taz said, so Jonathan Reed.
No.
Is that a reference to some
Wait, a
vampire
moment, let me explain.
thing? I'm gonna
Ooh.
Google that.
So he's much healthier now, so he can run.
These patrols are after me.
No, there's no historical vampire
Don't
fiction named Reed.
Okay, so I'm gonna focus on playing.
Okay.
Show you some of this game. It's massive, right? So we're not going to see tons today. What time is it now? It's 1:45, so we'll say 2:15. So we'll put
So
a
we're gonna
good
get as
half
far as
hour.
we can in half an hour.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, it's tough with these games, especially big ones, because the intro is always, it's always so like, you never just jump right into the game.
No.
Right?
This is kind of reminding me of Half-Life.
Oh, because you're
From-
running from,
yeah.
you gotta go down the sewers and.
So they're giving us, there's quite a bit of pop-in happening.
Yeah.
They're giving us the scale of the environment, so you get a sense of where you got to go.
We should say, as usual, the frame rate might be a little bit less than what it should be, just because of the way we're streaming. We have the video feed is running through like 3 different things.
Yeah, I got a
So
machete.
if you were playing this game just by itself, it would probably have a better frame rate.
Also, this is just a regular PlayStation 4, and our stream isn't super high fidelity either.
Oh yeah, and we're only at 720.
The on the Pro, which I tested it on just before I sat down here, it looked awesome.
So don't make or break the game based on what you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
Visually, anyway.
I'll try to stream some off of the Pro. I know I'm going to be playing it for a long time.
Sam Hain 111 says he's a doctor. He should be called Dr. Acula.
That's very good.
I think there was an exploitation movie called Dr. Acula, like a really bad cheesy vampire movie. I'm gonna Google that. I think it was like
he's just killing these people. He should feed. Oh, did I lose my machete? No, I got it. Okay, it just disappears into my pants.
wasn't there was a movie called Dr. Acula.
I love that.
I think. I know there's a band apparently.
Oh, this is so cool, man. They've done a great job with the environmental modeling. So they're just teaching me that I'm switching up between targets.
Oh, Dr. Acula was a proposed film by Ed Wood.
Oh, was it?
So it was never actually made.
That's
That sounds like
perfect.
something Ed Wood would make.
That's perfect. That was great. Friend,
You're Dr. Acula.
that's a wrap.
You're a doctor, but you suck blood.
I like it. That's great. Johnny Depp was amazing in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Tyler Fisher says the voice actor for Raziel in Legacy of Kain just died.
Raziel?
Yeah, Raziel, yeah.
Oh, that sucks. What's his name?
I'm gonna Google it right now.
You fucking leech.
We didn't hear about this.
Die, you fucking leech. Listen to me, I can't make any sense of this.
Shut up.
Did he just die, or are you just telling us this because it's a vampire game?
Who are you? What's this all about? Uh-oh. He's in the sunlight? What's happening? Oh, no!
There's no sunlight in England.
On this day, there was.
It's always overcast.
This was the one day of 1814, or whenever this date is. Aggravated damage. This is cool. I thought it was going to be a little bit more slower paced to begin with, but I'm actually running for my life and hacking and slashing. It's almost like an Assassin's Creed game.
Abby Jamison is asking, with all of the re-releases that Capcom has been doing, like Devil May Cry and Street Fighter.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Yeah, so this guy is like shooting the elephant gun at me. Okay, go ahead.
Does that make you think it's more likely that we'll ever get a new Ghost and Goblins game?
Like
guess
Maximo?
Yeah, like referencing the buried treasure we just had.
Maybe. I think they would maybe start with like a Maximo and Ghost and Goblin.
Yeah, I think it would be Ghost and Goblins first, because that's more iconic, I guess.
And then if that did really well, they would go, well, listen. I mean, that's why they do these things. It's A, to bring in some revenue, and when development slows down a little bit, they also know there's the fan demand for it. But they also do them to test out to see if people should make more of these types of games. So maybe they would put all of the Ghost and Goblins variations plus Maximo onto it. I mean, that's a good idea. If anybody from Capcom is watching, I think you have a bunch of people watching this that would probably be into that. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this dead guy. The chat is confused, I think.
Just killed his sister. Oh, he made it home.
What have you
Or he made it to his sister's home, where they live together.
Mary.
Mary, I'm sorry.
Are you lying
Whoever
now and
did
saying
this to
that
us,
whoever did the as in whoever turned you into a vampire? I think, right?
I missed that. I looked at the chat for a second.
Oh, okay. Did you just get turned into a vampire?
I just woke up.
Oh, okay.
On a
So
pile. I don't know what the.
So you don't know what the.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's.
It's one of those.
The the mystery is
You
how
discover
did I get
what,
to this?
Yeah, you discover what's going on. What are your thoughts about Sony and their advent calendar
This is
leading up to E3?
all blood, by the way.
Because Sony is.
Yeah, they're releasing a little bit.
Yeah, they're
every day. And what was today? Was it the Tetris effect?
It was the
today?
Tetris thing we had in the news. Yeah.
That's great. I think it's awesome.
I think it's smart because like
they're preempting Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't begrudge them for, because you think you announce everything on E3, it gets lost in the shuffle, right?
Yeah.
Like that Tetris game would
Yes.
have been totally lost in the shuffle if it was just announced during E3.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we are moving away from the importance of those 3 to 5 days, you know, as a singular thing, like what Nintendo's been doing with their directs for the last few years.
He's got no more responsibilities. What's this?
And E3 now is open to the public. It's not just a retailer. I mean, E3 started as a retailer and a press thing, and the retail industry has been devastated to sell anything, but you know, particularly physical media. And the media industry has been really devastated in a lot of ways too. Now everyone is a media person, you know, so they need to find new ways to get the message out, get the word out. And it's not all just relegated to that E3 week, but E3 week needs to happen. I know Jeff Keighley feels the same way. It's like the Cannes Film Festival, you know. It's like here's a chance for the entire world to converge and reveal a slate, you know. Not all of the secrets, but a big chunk of them.
It's a good excuse to go down to a nice warm location and pretend like we're working for a few days and see all our friends.
I'll tell you this. This is my 24th one. I know it's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's always work.
We do work, but whenever I feel like everyone else is there is just playing games.
Yes.
I guess that's me being a snob.
Well,
like,
I mean, that's part of the job is to kind of do the litmus test and to walk around and to meet with people and, you know, if you're making games or you're that side of the business.
Yeah. Not everyone's carrying a big camera bag, though.
Yeah.
Who goes there?
That she might linger longer, her eyes a prayer for the summoned by warring song. A child born from darkness must take scent.
Vic, Thiago Santos wants to know if you're looking forward to the new Forza game. That's
I love the Horizon franchise.
That's definitely going to be announced at E3.
Yeah, no, I love Horizon. 3 was my favorite game of that year.
Was it really the whole year?
Yeah, it totally knocked me on my butt. I remember we did the Rocket and Ray Guns, and I was alone in that sentiment, but I couldn't believe how good that game was. Because I honestly hadn't played much of the Horizon stuff prior to that. That was always a Ben and Jose thing. I checked them out, but I hadn't like sunk hours in, and when I sunk hours into 3, I was like, this is incredible. And now Playground is doing what? They're doing something totally not racing.
We did a story on it recently. Let me check. I can't remember. We played this game at E3 2 years ago, didn't we?
Vampyr?
Yeah.
Or Vampyr? It's been in development for a long time. Okay, so I'm equipping myself.
I remember it was behind it was behind closed doors. It wasn't
Yes.
on the show floor, but we did play it.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, these things take a while. I certainly look at this and go, why hasn't Assassin's Creed never made a vampire character? That would be so fun.
Yeah, they're doing Forza
like
Horizon
a
4.
vampire character that's climbing up buildings.
Yeah,
and sort
but-
of Batman, but he's got to go and.
But they don't really have supernatural stuff. They have to
Yeah.
be grounded in reality
Yeah,
and
sure.
only have aliens that build the pyramids.
Right. Grounded in reality. Giant sea or giant snakes that you're fighting and stuff.
Giant snakes and pyramid aliens and unicorns
Diving
that you can
underwater
buy.
and fight sharks.
Yeah. Wrestle a shark with your bare hands.
Yeah.
Jump off the pyramid and not die.
Yeah.
Into
Well,
a bale of hay.
Bale of hay. I do that in real life sometimes. My bloody diary.
Will EPN be visiting Human Head Studios for interviews on Rune Ragnarok?
No.
At E3? I'm not sure. Would they be at E3? Would they have a booth?
I actually have not even. I don't know anything about Rune Ragnarok. I guess I got to check that out. I know they're not on our schedule currently. Are they publishing it? Or is that
I'm gonna check.
Or is that a?
Let me ask Google.
A Devolver thing.
Let's see what the old Google says.
All right.
Human Head's developing it. Doesn't say who's publishing it.
They might be just getting it out. I mean, Rune was a very cool game back in the day, and I guess they own the rights to it, and they're just bringing it back.
Didn't we see this game at PAX?
I had better
Didn't we interview these guys at PAX?
Nope.
Okay.
I better remain here until nightfall. Okay,
Yeah, I think Human Head is just publishing it themselves.
Self-publishing. Is it a Kickstarter?
So the answer to your question is no.
No, currently not.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention, though. Oh yeah, Paul Adamson just pointed out. Yeah, there was the rumor is that Playground is doing the next Fable.
Yes.
The rumor is that Microsoft they're expanding and hiring a bunch of people to do a new Fable game.
Oh, that'd be huge. That'd be a big announcement.
I remember that now. It was a couple months ago that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Microsoft needs something like that. It'd be pretty rad if they said, okay, and Molyneux is their creative director on it too.
Yeah, or consultant or something.
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna see Fable at E3 this year?
Yeah.
At Microsoft's press conference?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Get like an animated teaser for it. Yeah. That'd be cool.
So there's not much for me to interact with, and it's saying I can't leave the house until nightfall, so what do? Go have tea?
Taz says he hates the oversaturation of zombie games as the primary fantasy race. Maybe if this game does well, we'll see more vampires.
Can't open this.
I think the oversaturation
maybe
of
I go to
zombies.
sleep. Maybe I just go to sleep.
I think all the zombies we saw weren't just in video games, but in movies as well, because it was part of the cultural zeitgeist, not just video games. It was everything, because we saw them in everything, right? But yeah, maybe we'll start seeing more vampires.
This makes no sense. None of it.
If you make a vampire game, though, automatically it's going to be mature rated, and I think there are ways to make a zombie game that isn't M rated.
You can make this teen rated, can't you?
You're sucking blood out of people. Blood is the determining factor.
Right, because they don't like the color red.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the MPAA.
So if you make a zombie thing like Plants vs. Zombies or whatever, there's a lot more leeway that you have in terms of being able to reach all kinds of people.
Yeah. I mean, you could have a cute cartoon vampire type Plants vs. Zombies thing, but yeah, the minute they start sucking blood.
This is heavy. He's going to try to kill himself.
You can't kill yourself that way. You got to stab
Rational
yourself.
thinking only. I guess so. Did you see his place? It's all just devastation and dead people everywhere. I'm gonna try it. Let's do it.
You're not gonna. It's not gonna work.
Credits.
You gotta do this. You gotta do a stake through your.
Thanks for watching, everybody. That was Vampire. It's the shortest game I've ever played.
That's the intro
good
of
job.
the game.
Don't nod. That was amazing.
That's intense.
Vampyr.
Now, why do you think they spelled Vampyr the old way? Is it to make the game distinct?
They're European. They're from.
Makes it more registerable.
They're from France.
Because if you just call the game Vampire, it's like spell it the normal way, it would look weird. It would look too plain, I guess. Vampyr makes
cool.
it sound sexier.
Yeah, it's cool. It's rad.
This guy does look like Adam Jensen, or Adam Jensen.
Yeah.
From Deus Ex.
Oh man. That is a bad night's sleep.
This is absolute madness.
This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with reality.
Now you got to go drink blood to get all that blood back.
Yeah. I love the literary quality of this game.
Who tames flowing sunlight into a...
Hideout beds allow you to evolve and rest. Spend experience points to level up and improve your vampiric skills. Okay.
So this is your skill tree?
Yep. What is this? Autophagy? Never even heard of this word. You drain your own blood. Autography?
Autography?
Autography.
Is this a real word?
You drain your own blood to heal normal and aggravated damage instantly. Wow. I guess we're buying this. I'm going to do it.
This is a real word. It's in Wikipedia and everything.
Wow. And
Autography, from the ancient Greek, meaning self-devouring, is the natural, regulated, destructive mechanism of the cell that disassembles unnecessary or dysfunctional components.
Good gosh.
So this is a real word. We just learned a word today. Yay.
Okay. So I bought some claws. Do I want a blood sphere? A blood spear? I don't know if I have enough money. Do I have enough money? No. Oh, it has experience points like God of War. Okay, so there's lots that I could have bought, but I bought a Togepi.
Abby Jamison. Yeah, I think a new Castlevania game will probably happen sooner or later.
Konami's pretty gun-shy on AAA,
But
though.
I could see Konami just inked a deal with some media company to license their stuff. So I could see them licensing Castlevania to someone else and someone else making a big Castlevania game.
Right.
Maybe Konami doesn't even publish it; they just co-publish it.
I like the
one who made
the Castlevania games that we got on the 360 and PlayStation 3 era. Those were pretty cool.
Those were made by Kojima, weren't they?
No, well, they were overseen, but they were made by the company that just made the Metroid game.
Retro Studio?
No. The Spanish company.
Yeah, oh god, who are they? I'm gonna look it up.
I forgot their name.
We should know this.
They're very good.
We should know these things. Mercury Steam.
Mercury Steam, yeah. Yeah, they're very good. Okay, so people are trying to get in.
People want me
We're
dead.
going to get out.
I need to leave now.
These people want me dead.
Man, nothing is going to happen in our next 15 minutes, I feel. This is a game you spend some time with, but I definitely do want to spend... Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
this
nice.
is great.
You just became, who's the X-Men that does that? Mystique's daughter or son can do that.
Oh, yes.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, yeah. Thank you.
It's locked.
Bamf.
Tyler Fisher has a question. Would you like to see Amy Hennig return to helm Legacy of Kain, or a new Legacy of Kain, or a remaster?
I would like to see her make a Star Wars game. That's what I would really like to see her do. Or an Indiana Jones game.
I would like to see a Star Wars.
A Star Wars?
That isn't controversial or divisive or filled with loot boxes.
I think Solo kind of is that. It's not that divisive. Solo's kind of not a bad...
It's because you haven't talked to me about Solo yet.
Oh, right, yeah.
Johnny hated that, didn't he?
No,
Didn't you guys have a big argument?
We didn't hate it. We both gave it 7s. It was actually, it was pretty decent fan service, but also a little bit unnecessary. But the filmmaking and the choices were cool. It just could have been about anybody and not Han Solo. And it was dark as hell. I don't know how your screening was, but it was really murky. Hard to make out stuff.
For me, no, my screening was fine. It wasn't the way the movie looked. It was boring. Question, if Xbox has a poor E3, could we see more studios closing down? What can they do to bring more customers back? I don't think they're going to close any more studios down.
I think Microsoft has to double down on spending to make games that register.
And they are. They've just announced that they're opening up like 2 new studios. So I think they've hit the bottom of studio closures and they're on their way back up.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I agree.
Unless things take a turn for the worst.
I think every company that makes media right now understands the cultural opportunities, the cultural resonance opportunities of video games, and they are going to continue to invest. PlayStation had some pretty big success already this year with God of War, and that was not an inexpensive game to make. And I feel like all of the media companies understand that video games have taken hold with a demographic, a group of people, and I think it's up to the games industry to expand that demographic. That's what they need to do if they want to keep growing. But we will never stop playing video games, play forever, and we just need good content, And it's probably in the grand scheme of things a little bit less risky to keep investing in the video game division than it is to throw tons of money at a potential television show or movie or something, because those are very crowded and it's kind of hard to get the eyeballs on a lot of that stuff these days.
Definitely. Jordan Cunningham has a comment. I hope EA doesn't make their next Star Wars game like Destiny or another online MMO. Well, they are. They've already said they are.
Yeah.
That we know that the game that was being made by Amy Hennig and is now being made by EA Canada. We know it's going to be an online game. If it ever gets made, I don't know. Maybe it gets canceled in a year.
It's locked, all right.
But yeah, they for right now it's going to be an online game. We don't know about Respawn's game.
It's kind of a weird time right now for Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah. And how long is EA going to be making Star Wars games for?
So cool.
That is really cool. You can't just do that anywhere, though, right?
No.
Like you can only do it in
so far.
That'd be cool, like an open world type game where you can just go anywhere doing that. That'd be kind of neat.
This game has got its hooks in me, guys. I am very, very intrigued by this. I'm definitely going to be playing more.
It's important that this was my big problem with A Way Out. It's important for a game in its first 10, 15 minutes to get its hooks into you.
Right.
Like this did that with that.
Oh, I'm eating rats.
I haven't even played this, and it's got its hooks in me.
Yeah.
Like this looks like it's pulling you in. Right?
Yeah, totally.
A Way Out, I was just like, what? Like there was no big moment in the intro.
It looks great too.
Like a game shouldn't take 2 hours before you get into it.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't stream their first attach to a
yeah,
game,
but
right? Like
I wouldn't have dug that game if we weren't streaming it either. I would have just been like, I would have been bored.
Yeah.
Like a game, something really interesting and cool.
We had the sound off though. That was a story.
Yeah,
that's a story
but
game.
Still, something really interesting and cool should happen in the first 15 minutes of a game.
Right.
Right.
I think
and
there are
nothing happened in that game.
A lot of people that love that game.
Okay.
But I hear what you're saying.
Like this game did it perfectly.
Yeah. Single player games, man, they have a lot of value and a lot of merit, you know.
You should gift a copy of this game to EA. Just send them a copy and be like, hey guys, have you seen this?
I'm sure they're watching. I think we're going to see some pretty big announcements from EA this year, you know.
Taz has a comment, Vic.
Yep.
You can suck the blood of hostiles if you stun them and press X.
Ah, thank you, Taz.
So
you've been playing already.
So you don't need to kill them, I guess.
Okay, now that you have blood, press R1 to unleash a vampiric skill. Vampiric skill.
The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it.
Yeah, Tyler Fisher. EA Canada made a couple of Need for Speed games. They also obviously do FIFA and NBA or NHL.
NHL.
They still do FIFA, don't they?
They still do FIFA. They used to do NBA here too.
Yeah, NBA Live. Yeah.
And they used to make the fight night games. Now they make the UFC games at EA Vancouver.
And right now they're making a Star Wars.
Yep. Dope. Love this. Okay, so the blood disappears.
Jordan Cunningham says, "Don't teleport yourself into a wall."
Okay.
I guess
I shan't.
Is it? Can you teleport accidentally into the wrong area?
I think he's joking.
Okay. Normally, when you teleport the pattern buffers, there's 4 redundant pattern buffers that should prevent you from teleporting through solid matter.
Are you doing Star Trek right
That's
now?
a Star Trek.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know when my eyes start to glaze over that he's in Star Trek.
Every transporter should have at least 4 redundant pattern buffers, Vic.
Okay.
This is a thing I know.
Okay. Unknown blood quality. Can I crouch? I always want to crouch, but I guess I can't. Oh, geez, so I'm just going to walk in and...
So you can start investigating people now, right?
Welcome, sir, to the Turquoise Turtle.
Because isn't the whole gimmick you look at a person and if they're a dickhead, you can suck their blood?
Oh, right, yes.
Like
that's right.
if the person's like a child molester, suck their blood, but if they're a nice person...
Wow, you look like you need a drink. I apologize for my outfit. It's been a long night. Blood all over him.
It's been a long night.
That's all good. Let's get you some beer. That'll help. Been there, seen that, but don't worry. Things can only get worse. Did anyone enter the bar?
No, that's too inquisitive.
Has anybody
entered the bar recently? Look at this. He's got blood. I apologize for my outfit. I was just cutting some cows up for dinner tomorrow. This is important, sir. Are you sure no one has come in here in the last few hours?
You should have made friends with him first, Vic.
This is a free country. People
Don't know, and I don't care. Have the right to come and go. All right. What's going on around here? What is going on around here?
It's like
everybody is hiding.
You must be new here. Have you not
Is
heard
it my
about the
shirt?
murders?
You heard about the murders?
Everybody fears the return of the sewer
The
dog.
return of Sewer Dog. Who is Sewer Dog?
Who is this sewer dog?
It's the local bogeyman. Convenient answer for every crime that happened for decades.
This makes me want to go back
You
to London.
murdered someone.
Does this
Blame
game
the
have any
sewer
real
dog.
life historical
Hey,
figures in it?
I don't know.
Like, are you gonna see Queen Victoria walking around?
Good suggestion, Tyler. That would take a little bit of
You make it sound like it's a fairy
a
tale.
little more
Yeah.
effort production-wise than we currently have the budget
That
for.
would take a few more me's
Yes,
to do that.
but I definitely do talk to people about stuff like that. Yes.
We've done a few interviews with former hosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
catch-up
I mean,
interview.
we do that when we can do that. I haven't been able to sort of under the EPM umbrella come up with like new show concepts or new documentary type concepts in a little while, but that might change.
Oh, God, sir.
Jordan
You
Cunningham,
like
so where is
Johnny's Whale
Nightcrawler's
just
pattern
spat you out of
buffers?
hell.
Didn't they do an
Right,
X-Men and Star
No,
Trek
thank
crossover comic series?
I'm not.
I know they did like a
Oh,
Marvel.
grab a chair and get some rest.
Marvel.
This is going to be another long night.
Another long night? Why?
Why is it going to be a long night?
You
Can
must be
anyone
new
do
around here.
some laundry?
Don't you know about the murders?
Yeah, Marvel published a few Star Trek
These murders?
comics.
About these murders?
Tell me more.
I don't know if they ever did a
murders.
crossover with
Every
the X-Men.
morning
though.
for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Yeah, so this takes place during the Spanish
Do the
flu.
police have any
And I
leads
think
on a
I remember that
suspect?
was a thing.
Okay.
Before the
When we played the
outbreak,
game at
I was
E3, the guy that
around
was telling us
here.
about it
Hmm.
said
We're on
like
our own. People
part of the
die
reason
in
you
these
can get away
parts all
with
the
killing so
time,
many people
and
is you
no
blame it
one
on the flu.
cares.
Ah. I'm looking for someone.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently.
I guess
Wondered
people
if
would
you
be
might
walking
help.
around with blood all over their shirt during the Spanish flu because people were dying, right?
Up to his room.
And you're a doctor, so you have an
Yeah,
excuse, right?
sure, yeah.
Oh, I was just trying to help someone who was bleeding.
Well, yeah. He paid for the entire week.
I need to meet that
I
man.
need
What does it
to
mean
meet
when it's
this man.
yellow, the text?
I have
Questions. They're pointed questions. I'd love a G4 Ask TV network under the EPN banner. Get these, get those sponsors 24/7, new and old rerun shows alike, etc. That'd be great, Tyler. I did pitch Rogers on converting the G4 Canada brand to EPN, but they were well on spending, on their way to spending billions of dollars on NHL.
Gotta get those hockey rights.
Yeah. And hiring George Strombolopoulos to be commentator.
And all those severances you got to pay to John Gameshi.
Oh, well, that was CBC.
Was it CBC? Oh,
Yeah,
CBC. Okay,
yeah.
sorry. Roger, I got my wires crossed.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, he was on CBC, not Rogers. Derp.
I don't envy anybody in television right now. You just don't know what door is going to remain open and how long you're going to be able to do stuff.
Ooh, who's this guy?
I mean, you know.
Crucifixing you.
Burning!
Present yourself.
This is amazing.
I need a word.
Can't wait till they announce Gears of War Battle Royale. I was saying they should do a Nintendo
you,
Battle
Farmer.
Royale. You play as the 100 best Nintendo characters and you just kill each other.
That'd be
Awesome.
great. So now I have a friend who knows I'm a vampire.
Well, that's something I can do for you.
Very civilized. And so clean. I could use a little bit of that cleanliness in my life.
It's like, hey man, can I borrow your vest? Well, he's not a vampire though.
Yes, not yet.
And
Unknown.
who might you be?
Oh, is that how you investigate?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Blood quality. First thing I'm looking at. Okay, so this is my my names on a board sheet here, I guess, right?
He's got a crucifix though, Vic.
Yeah. He might be my buddy. Let's find out. You first.
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people.
Molesting people.
In fact, killing them.
Oh, he means like.
by
Yes.
death.
Yeah. upsetting.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
Do I ever catch up with Evangeline Lilly? Jordan Cunningham is asking. I've seen her at a couple of San Diego Comic-Con events over the last few years. And I got a book from her, the Squicker Wonkers book that she has been writing and getting illustrated with the Weta folks. And she signed it to my daughter, which was really cool. She was very sweet. And she hasn't changed. She's a really cool person.
She's Canadian, right?
She's Canadian, yeah.
Everyone who's Canadian is nice.
No, she's the real deal, man. I can't wait to see the Ant-Man and Wasp.
It looks good.
Then if you
I can't wait to see how they deal with the ending of Infinity War.
Look at this. Adrian Leon is concerned that I make my 215.
Oh, is it 215 now?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So that's it then, guys.
That's going to be it for this stream, but clearly this is a massive game, and clearly I have much more to play before I give you my review on it.
Did you get another code for this, Vic?
No, I just got the one. Sorry, buddy.
Bye, everyone.
But I'll play some more, and I'll let you guys know what my thoughts are. We'll have a review up on the channel as soon as I plunk some pretty good hours into this sucker. I will stream some more just off of my personal PlayStation as well, so you can take a look at it. But thank you so much for joining us today. You all rock. Remember, we are doing EP Live from EXP this weekend, and we'd love to have you join us. I'll put up another tweet with the hours and all that stuff. And we've also got tons of content for you to check out, so please do. If you dig it, hit subscribe. You got to hit that little bell. I know the notifications don't always work, but you got to do it anyways. And if you're so inclined, don't forget you can hit that sponsorship button at any time. And remember, everybody, play forever. We'll see you tomorrow.